guys, welcome back to this channel. So today I'm preparing waakye with Gari and what we call talia and fish. So these are the ingredients that I'm using. You can see my goat meat. I have 1 pound of goat meat, 2 red snappers, my habanero pepper, my tomatoes, 2 bulbs of onions, vegetable cooking oil, curry powder. I have my adobo, nutmeg right there, the rice, tomato paste, that's my Gari, powdered shrimp, bay leaves, garlic, you saw that. I have my beans, my black-eyed beans, those are the Waakye leaves, and my spaghetti. So first of all, make sure you wash your beans thoroughly. So afterwards you add your Waakye leaves to them. I use about 4 to 5 Waakye leaves. Make sure you wash them also because we just bought them from the store. So wash them thoroughly. If your water is hot, the moment you add leaves, the color is going to drain into the beans. But if it's not hot, you have to cook it for some time before the color drains. So this, I'm going to cover my beans afterwards and cook for about 30 minutes. You know, beans takes a long time to cook. So after some few minutes, you see the color has already drained. So I'm going to cover it again and cook it for about 30 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to go on and start preparing my stew. So that is garlic, ginger, onions, and habanero pepper or Jamaican pepper. You can use any kind of type of pepper. So after blending, I'm going to pour it over my goat meat, marinate it, and at the same time cook it. And this I'll cook for about 15 minutes. So now I'm going to add my Maggi Cube. Add my adobo. Most of the time I use teaspoons of spices. So a teaspoon of adobo, some salt, so after this you just stir it and cover it and you cook for about 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, this is how it's supposed to look like. You don't want it too soft. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out, save the stock, pour some oil into my saucepan. But I want to be efficient with the oil, and I'm trying to save oil and not to use too much oil. So instead of me going ahead and frying my goat meat, I'm going to go ahead and fry my fish first. I kind of marinated my fish with some of the blended pepper mixture. I'm going to fry my fish first, and this I'm going to fry for about 8 minutes. Make sure you don't burn it. So afterwards I've taken my fish out. I'm now going to fry my goat meat. And this I'm going to start the stew, all the tomato sauce. So you stir fry for a little while to make sure they're a little fried. So now let's go back to the beans. After my 30 minutes, this is how my beans have turned to. The color has completely changed, as you can see. But they are not really cooked or thoroughly cooked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my rice to my semi-cooked or semi-cooked beans. That was about 2 cups of rice. So afterwards you add extra water to it. You know, just like you're cooking your beans, you add extra water to it. Then you add some salt to taste. So now you let it cook for about 20 to 25 or 30 minutes. So back to my goat meat. Now I'm going to add my sliced onions. I'm adding the rest of the blended pepper, garlic, and ginger. If you have powdered pepper, you can use it, but I want much more flavor, so after about 5 minutes, I'm now going to add my tomato paste. I'm using about 2 tablespoonfuls of tomato paste. So now my fresh tomatoes, I've blended them. So after about 5 minutes, I'm going to add the blended tomatoes into the tomato paste. And this, you let it boil or cook for about 20 minutes. So after about 20 minutes, this is how it's supposed to look like. Make sure you keep stirring so that it does not burn. So now I'm adding the stock from the goat's meat to it. Two bay leaves, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of curry powder or curry powder, and then just a little bit of salt, a teaspoon of salt, or maybe even half a teaspoon of salt. So now you stir everything together. So now I'm going to add my powdered shrimp. I love the powdered shrimp, I don't know why, but it gives your sauce or your soup or stews some distinctive taste and smell. And you know shrimp is good for our stews, so I love it. So now back to my waakye. This is how my waakye has turned after about 30 minutes. The rice is cooked. The waakye, the beans is also cooked. You can add more water to it. You know, waakye is supposed to be soft, not hard. So it's supposed to, have that kind of soft texture to it. So now after your rice and beans are cooked, you now take out the waakye leaves. So now I'm going to go and prepare my spaghetti or my talia. So you can use any type of spaghetti that you like. So this, I boiled it for 15 minutes. And my sauce is also ready. You try to, cook one thing and go on to the other. To be fast, you don't have to wait for one thing to cook before you go on to the next one. And also now my spaghetti or my talia is cooked also. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop some kind of oil or some part of the sauce onto the spaghetti. Mix them together to give it a yellow color. About 3 tablespoonfuls of, the scoop. And you mix it up. So now this is how I'm preparing my Gari for today. That's my Gari. So I'm going to pour some into my bowl. Add some sprinkles of water onto the Gari. Not to make it too soft, but kind of soggy. I don't know how to say it, but it shouldn't be too hard, not too soft. So that's I'm preparing my Gari for top. So afterwards, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of the scoop from my sauce, just like in the video. And mix it together also. And that should be the result. So now everything is done. You have my waakye, my fish, my goat meat sauce,